On behalf of ARMTV, I would like to welcome you to another informative content on Africa Today series. Africa Today is a weekly series where you get informed, educated and entertained with amazing content from across Africa. In today's video, we will be presenting to you some Africa's great kingdoms and empires that once existed. If you are new here, welcome. Please subscribe and turn on the notifications so you do not miss out any of our newly released videos. And if you are a returning subscriber, we love you. Share with us in the comments section your topics of interest you would like us to cover, and we will bring it up to you. Conversations about African history frequently centered on the concept of colonization, slavery, and exploitation. Because of the way that Africa is portrayed in both mainstream media and academics, these themes frequently serve as a definition of the African continent. But there is much more to Africa than what meets the eye, and its rich and diverse history before the Scramble for Africa is a testament to that. Large kingdoms and empires ruled over various regions of Africa long before European explorers arrived. Their kings presided over magnificent courts that were thriving with dancing, music, and art. Their traders exchanged gold, salt, and other things with distant nations. From the Nubian Dynasty, the Oyo Empire, the Kingdom of Ghana, and the Empire of Kongo, African empires have painted African history with an exciting brush. Major themes that describe African empires and kingdoms are power, wealth, influence, identity, creativity, innovation, and collaboration. We hope you will be inspired by these resources to learn about African kingdoms and exploring the contributions they have made to Africa and global history. We begin with the Mali Empire. The Empire of Mali is one of the most significant but greatly neglected empires of African history. At its height, the Mali Empire covered an area larger than Western Europe, including parts of what is now Mali, Niger, Senegal, and the Gambia Sundiata Keita founded in the early 13th century. But the empire only reached fame and financial prosperity when Emperor Mansa Kankan Musa I came to power several decades later. Under Keita and his successors, the empire tightened its grip over a large portion of West Africa and grew rich on trade. Its most important cities were Djenné and Timbuktu, both of which were renowned for their elaborate adobe mosque and Islamic schools. One such institution, Timbuktu's Sanko University, included a library with an estimated 700,000 manuscripts. The Mali Empire eventually disintegrated in the 16th century, but at its peak, it was one of the jewels of the African continent and was known the world over for its wealth and luxury. One legendary tale about the kingdom's riches concerns the ruler Mansa Musa, who made a stopover in Egypt during a 14th century pilgrimage to Mecca. According to contemporary sources, Musa dished out so much gold during the visit and he caused its value to plummet in Egypt's market for several years. We move on with the Songhai Empire. In terms of size, few states in African history can compare to the Songhai Empire, formed in the 15th century from some of the former regions of the Mali Empire. This West African kingdom was larger than Western Europe and comprised parts of a dozen modern-day nations. The empire enjoyed a period of prosperity thanks to vigorous trade policies and a sophisticated bureaucratic system that separated its vast holdings into different provinces, each ruled by its own governor. It reached its zenith in the early 16th century under the rule of the devout king Muhammad I Askia, who conquered new lands, forged an alliance with the Egypt's Muslim Caliph, and established hundreds of Islamic schools in Timbuktu. While the Songhai Empire was once among the most powerful states in the world, it later crumbled in the late 1500s after a period of civil war and internal strife left it open to an invasion by the Sultan of Morocco. The Ethiopian Empire. Stretching from the Middle Ages all the way to the Cold War, the Ethiopian Empire, or Abyssinia as it was also known, is the longest lasting of the African kingdoms on the list. It survived some of the most turbulent events in modern day history. It resisted various enemies attempting to encroach on its territory. From the Ottoman and Italian armies to the Egyptians, legend tells us that its leaders are descendants of King Solomon. During the Scramble for Africa, which saw European powers asserting colonial authority across African territories, Ethiopia successfully fought off and defeated Italy in the First Italo-Ethiopian War. The empire's decline began when they lost the Second Italo-Ethiopian War in 1935. The monarchy was finally abolished in 1974 by a military junta. The Benin Empire. Found in modern-day Nigeria, the Benin Empire was considered one of the oldest and most developed states in West Africa until its annexation by the British Empire. Famous artisans crafted masterpieces for ivory, bronze and iron. The Benin Empire had a strong trading relationship with the Portuguese. They exchanged palm oil, pepper, and ivory from Manila, a form of currency used in West Africa, and firearms. The relationship even saw an ambassador visit Lisbon in the 16th century. Britain's first expedition to Benin occurred in 1553. A mutually beneficial trading relationship existed throughout the 16th and 17th centuries until Benin suspected Britain of making controlling advancements. Dutch, British, and Portuguese explorers brought numerous tales back to Europe of the beauty, wealth, and sophistication of Benin. Kanem Bornu Empire. Renowned as one of the most powerful empires of Western Africa, with Ghana, Mali, and Songhai, Kanem Bornu is often cited as an archetypal example of an ancient African pre-colonial kingdom. The empire reached a certain degree of fame not only because it was mentioned in the narrative written by Arab geographers such as Al-Idris, but also because its history has been taught in schools and universities as an example of the wealth of pre-colonial Africa. The Kanem Empire at its height encompassed an area covering much of Chad, parts of southern Libya and eastern Niger, northeastern Nigeria, and northern Cameroon. The early history of the empire is mainly known for the Royal Chronicle, discovered in 1851 by the German traveler Heinrich Barth. Remnant successor regimes of the empire, in form of the Bornu Emirate and Dikwa Emirate, were established around 1900 and still exist today as traditional states within Nigeria. Ghana Empire. The Ghana Empire flourished in West Africa from at least the 6th to the 13th century. Not connected geographically to the modern state of Ghana, the Ghana Empire was located in the western Sudan Savannah region, modern southern Mauritania and Mali, positioned between the Sahara Desert to the north and the rainforest to the south. Trade in the Ghana Empire was facilitated by abundance of iron, copper, gold, and ivory, and easy access to the Niger and Senegal rivers and their tributaries. The Ghana kings, residing in the capital of Kumbo Saleh, grew immensely rich, building up stockpiles of the gold nuggets only they were permitted to possess. Consequently, the reputation of Ghana spread to North Africa and Europe, where it was described as a fabulous land of gold. The Ghana Empire crumbled from the 12th century following drought, civil wars, the opening up of trade routes elsewhere, and rise of Soso Kingdom in the Mali Empire. Coming to an end of this content, there is no doubt Africa was once home to a large number of superpowers who had absolute and control over territories. Away from those enlisted here, there existed other great kingdoms and empires such as the Oyo, Dahomey, ASHANTI, ZULU, and that of ancient Egypt. We hope you enjoyed this video. If yes, give us a thumbs up and share with friends. Drop a word in the comment section informing us about the beautiful stadiums we might have failed to mention in this video. Do not forget to share with us your favorite topics of interest you would like us to cover, and we will make that happen. Please like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification so you do not miss any of our upcoming videos. See you soon for another content on Africa Today series. Bye.